coming off that video I made earlier this week about John Legend's All of Me song getting basically non-stop airtime on radio stations, it made me think of what are some of the songs that I feel throughout my entire life that I've heard, I just keep hearing to the point that it's just like, all right, it is just overplayed to death. So, thinking about that, I said, I'm going to make a video about this. So here in front of me, I have a list of the top 5 songs that have been overplayed way too fucking much in my lifetime. You may agree or disagree, or you may feel there's a song that should be on this that I do not list on this. But anyways, this is my personal list. You can feel free to add to this. In fact, I asked you guys last night on Twitter to tell me the favorite song, not necessarily your favorites, the songs that you feel are most overplayed in your lifetime. And instead of me going over just my top 5 here, I'm going to go over the top 3 answers that you guys gave on my Twitter. So for those of you that aren't interactive with my Twitter, you didn't get to be a part of this video. So anyway, number 1. The most requested, and I'll go just 1 to 3. The number 1 most requested, listed, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Anyway, Pharrellls Happy. And I noticed in the comments of my video that I made about John Legend's All of Me song that some people are like, how could you say this John Legend song over Pharrellls Happy? Pharrellls Happy gets played to death, arguably more than John Legend's song. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. It's just that I understand why Pharrell's song is getting more airtime and why it got a rejuvenation beyond when Despicable Me 2 first came out and that soundtrack first hit and when that song first hit the radio airwaves. It got a resurgence because Pharrell had that performance on the Oscars a couple months ago. That rejuvenated it, and then there was a bunch of viral songs that came up. People were, you know, singing about their town or their job, whatever, and putting the happy lyrics to it. It became a viral phenomenon. All that sparked interest. The radio stations are just trying, you know, stay on the trends, what's trending, blah, blah, blah. It's a safe song, it offends no one. So it warranted getting that explosion of airtime again on the radio stations. And it's fading out a little right now, but it is still on all the time. Whereas with John Legend's All of Me song, the song came out in October. Now all of a sudden, the past 2 weeks, you can't go any single time of the day. You go through the radio stations, you will hear that song on. It is getting a ridiculous amount of airtime right now for no explained reason. It's been 6 months since the song came out, and for whatever reason, the past few weeks, boom, it just blew up like 4th of July fireworks. Did he perform this song at the Super Bowl? Did he perform this song at, I don't know, was there a royal wedding lately that the world can't ignore for some reason? Like, did he perform at that? No. I mean, there's a few live performances here and there, but nothing to warrant the incessant, just ad nausea-inducing coverage and airtime this song has gotten. Anyway, but I agree, Happy is overplayed to shit on the radio as well. All right, number 2 that you guys said was Call Me Maybe. Now, when you people were tweeting that back to me, I was like, Call Me Maybe. That sounds familiar, but I wasn't sure what the song was, and I went on YouTube and I was like, oh, this fucking song. Oh my god, how could I forget that one? By Carly Rae Jepsen, whatever the fuck her name is. Not that I've committed her name to memory and don't ever plan on doing it. This song, yeah, that has been overplayed to just death levels as well. I agree with you guys there. For someone who is basically a no-name in the music industry, I mean, did she make anything before this? Has she made anything since? In this song, oh my god, I don't know if it's just like a pussification of the times or whatever, but it's like it's tackling the daring topic of meeting someone and giving them your number. Because that's a new concept that's been around since, oh, I don't know, the invention of the fucking telephone. I think Alexander Graham Bell gave his assistant his phone number upstairs and he said, hey, call me, maybe. I'm sorry, that's the best I could come up with. Anyway, yeah, I mean, just think about it. It's like, oh, this is crazy, but I have an idea. Here's my number. I'm interested in you. Could you call me? Like, the fuck, what person hasn't done that in their life that's, you know, trying to date someone? Jesus. Song acts like that's like a novel concept or some shit. Anyway. Number 3, I'm just going to lump this into the actual group. And you can play along at home, see if you can guess. This is a classic rock group. You guys have probably already listed the name already. You can't go through a single classic rock station. I've lived in 6 different states in these United States of America and listened to classic rock stations in every state I've lived in. You cannot go 1 hour without hearing at least one song out of all the classic rock groups there is. You cannot go 1 hour without hearing at least one song from this group. And it's pretty much all in America and probably in the country in which they're from, to give you a hint of who they are. Have you guessed who it is? Say it with me, everyone. AC/DC. My God, oh my God. Shook Me All Night Long, Paint It Black, Back in Black. The radio stations sweat their fucking shit. And you can go a whole, I've listened to classic rock and, you know, you go a whole hour without hearing, like, you know, something like Queen or Black Sabbath or anything like that. Even though they have a ton more hits, because the AC/DC, you'll maybe find 4 or 5 songs in the rotation, but man, they play those 4 or 5 songs to fucking death. Anyway, AC/DC, I just lumped it in since the people said a couple of different AC/DC songs. So, anyways, what you really tuned in to see? My words, right? Anyways, your guys' top 3 are probably better than my top 5. Anyway, and these are ranked in order. I usually don't put my top 5 lists in order. These are in the order of just like, you know, I start getting more sick the farther we go down this list here. All right. Number 5. Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. Now, some of these songs I want to point out are some of the songs that you guys said on my Twitter, and this was one of them. Someone recommended this, and I was like, oh, I agree. That's definitely going to be one of the songs in my top 5. It's been redone in High School Musical. It came out in early 80s. I think it was like 80, 81 when Journey came out with this, and it's a really good song. I love the song. Oh my God, it's still getting regular airtime to this day, and especially with the ending of The Sopranos, where it was an integral part to the ending sequence on the show, where Tony puts it on the jukebox in the diner there, or the personal jukebox for the table that the Soprano family's sitting at. It all of a sudden was back on, like, you know, top 40 radio station, a song from the early 80s on like modern hit radio stations, and it started charting again, and I'm like, oh my God, this song was playing incessantly on the radio when I was a kid. Now it's playing incessantly again, and now High School Musical did a thing about it, and now it's getting played incessantly even more. It's enough. It's like killing the specialness of the song. It's Journey's best song, I'll tell you that right now. But man, it just got brought back in and just regurgitated to the masses, and just like, I don't know, people glom onto it. It's like, oh, I really love this song and all. It's like, yeah, well, why didn't you like it until High School Musical did a version of it? Fucking leech. Anyway, number 4. I love this group. I love their music, but man, oh man, Queen made a song called, can you say it with me? No, it's not We Will Rock You. No, it's not that. Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh my God. This had a resurgence in my teenage years when the movie Wayne's World came out. It was a prominent song in that movie. It was a famous sequence in the film where they're driving around, they all singing and rocking out together. This is a song that came out, and the video came out before MTV came on, and then once MTV came on, they had to air the video all the time there. It's all of the classic rock stations. Then when Wayne's World comes out, much like with Don't Stop Believin', all of a sudden it's on like modern hit stations, so it's like, oh my God, you can't escape this song, and it's a great song. I think it's one of the greatest rock songs ever made. It's a very long, quote-unquote, opera, rock opera as they call it, but Played to fucking death. Played to fucking death. Regurgitated another thing, like I said, just like Don't Stop Believin'. It got featured in something, and that just threw it out to the masses tenfold of what it ever saw before. Holy shit. Number 3. YMCA by the Village People. We get it. It's a good song to do at a wedding because everyone can do the YMCA, and you get the one drunk guy that's going, oh wait, is the C this way or this way? Okay, that's me at weddings. But anyway, yeah, it's still gets played. Not so much on the radio, but this is kind of just something that you'll hear just randomly just pop on at a party, and like I said, every single wedding. It's just something like it's like just the joke song in a spoof movie, and it's like, oh, we get it. There's a silly dance scene coming now in this film, and it's okay. Anyway, played to fucking death. It's a song that was made in the 70s, and it's probably got more airtime in the 80s and 90s and the now 2000s than it ever did in the 70s when it came out. Anyway, Village People, YMCA, YBMCA, I can't even fucking spell it. Fuck it. Anyway, I don't even know what I was going for there. Alright, number 2. Oh boy. This song from a movie, I think it was it was early 90s. It was actually a remake of a song from a different person. Obviously, if it's obviously a remake, it can't be the same person. Technically it could. But anyway, I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. When that fucking movie The Bodyguard came out, and that fucking soundtrack hit, I was like, wow, this is a great song. Whitney Houston, the pipe she has, sang the fucking shit out of it. Dolly Parton originally made it, and you know, it's not often where you see someone take another artist's piece of work and not only make a better version, but make a far superior version of her song. There's nothing wrong with the Dolly Parton version, but Whitney Houston fucking buried that version of it to the point where like people hear Dolly Parton perform it, they're like, why are you doing that Whitney Houston song? You can't do it as good as her. Like, people even forget that Dolly Parton came out with this song first. But my God, okay? So it's already ingrained in society due to Dolly Parton singing it, and then Whitney Houston, and oh my God, this was something. This was along the lines of fucking John Legend's All of Me when this Bodyguard movie came out. You couldn't escape this song. You couldn't escape it. And it was everywhere. And then Whitney Houston passed away, it was everywhere again. And it's like, oh, the classic hits of Whitney, we gotta play the song from Bodyguard. Oh boy, it's back again. It was just so severely overplayed from that movie, and it was like the only song even worth listening to on that soundtrack. But anyways, number 1. And this song irritated me mainly for an alternate version that was on the radio. This is a song that is also from a movie, a very famous movie from the 1990s. I want to say it was like 97 that it came out, and 97 going into 98, I do believe it was. It came out in December. Not only did this song get airplay, but they made a version of the song, since it was from a movie, that started intersplicing actual dialogue from the movie in the radio version of it. So actual scenes from the movie got spliced in. What song are we talking about? Celine Dion's, say it with me, My Heart Will Go On, My God, Kill Me Now. That song was just fucking... There was like I said, there was a version of it when it came on the radio, because Titanic was such a big fucking hit. And I like Titanic. Thought the song was okay. Not really my cup of tea, but whatever. No denying Celine Dion's talent and vocal ability. She's one of the best. But they had a version of this song that I was like, do people enjoy this? And it aired on the radio constantly. Constantly. In between each set of lyrics, when there was a pause of Celine Dion singing, they would put in like 5 to 10 second clips of the movie, just dialogue of Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet and whatever else, and the guy shouting, "Iceberg!" It's like, oh, this is great on the radio, and we can't see the ship hitting the fucking iceberg. And on top of that, this song, it's got to be on YouTube somewhere. The radio version of it's got to be on YouTube somewhere. If you listen to the song, the dialogue that's spliced in is sequential along in the movie. By the time you get to the end of the end of the song, when you're listening on the radio, the entire movie is ruined. Yeah, I know, the Titanic sinks. Duh, who doesn't know that already? But you basically understand that Leonardo DiCaprio dies just from the dialogue and shit like that. Like there's nothing left to be surprised with in the movie. But I know everyone and their mother saw it anyway. And anyway, it was so fucking annoying. They had that version of the song, then they just had the regular version without the splice shit, and then she sang it at the Oscars, and it stayed on radio constantly for like a 2-year span because the movie stayed out forever. It was like in the theaters for 65 years, and the song aired on the radio because of that for 65 years. Anyway, that's my top 5 list of songs that are just so ridiculously overplayed. New dog, fetch. Release! He's walking. Lazy bum. Anyway, that's my top 5 list. Feel free to shoot over the songs that you feel have been overplayed, or, you know, if you think my list is backwards in any way, shape, or form, whatever. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for your feedback on Twitter, guys, and I'm going to do that for a future top 5 list where I ask on Twitter, you know, what you guys think, and then I'll put the top 3 and then give you my top 5. Anyways, long enough video as it is, and just remember, you guys shook me all night long. Had to bring up AC/DC. Almost misspelled their fucking name. ADCB. Anyways, goodbye.